Oh,
There we
we
go.
are
We are
live.
live.
What's up,
Yay!
everybody?
Hi, everybody.
Happy Tuesday evening. Happy
Wednesday Eve.
All Wednesday's Eve. Is that what it is?
That's right.
We are Storytellers Union, and we appreciate you taking the time out to tune into another one of our lives. And this one's sort of a summer update, guys. Summer is slowly slipping away.
It
Tick
is.
tock, tick tock.
The days are now getting shorter.
Are they?
They are. Yeah, after the summer solstice.
Oh, that's right. A little bit shorter every day.
Yeah, it's a little, longer all the way up to the summer solstice. And then after that.
And for
a little
some of
shorter
you,
every day.
might be getting ready to go back to school, or if that is a thing still.
Yeah, I'm not even sure how that works anymore. Is there
What is that?
school in the sense that we actually went to school? Is it all virtual like this now? I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
It depends
it's pretty
on
much
where
like
you
this.
live and what your governor says and just how bad it gets once you get all those kids in the little petri dish.
So what's going on, guys?
Well, Doug, we want to give to everyone viewing out there just a little bit of an update on all things Storytellers Union, and there's a lot going on. Obviously, summer is the time we dedicated our summer cover series, but there's more than just that going on. But the last song we did, it's been about a month, guys. I think it's about time we throw another one out there.
I think that's a good idea. When do you think we do that, Kevin?
I think we should do that this Friday.
Friday sounds good. Doug, are you available Friday?
I think Friday sounds great. Actually, that would get us up to like 2 posts a week, so that'd be great. Got to keep that content going.
Doug is all about content and subs, and
I am all about building a community of like-minded musical individuals. Why is that funny?
Because I thought I was the marketing person.
Yeah.
I told you guys before, I'm an aggressive YouTube hobbyist. So
aggressive YouTube hobbyist.
Well, first things first, I guess, if we are going to drop a song on Friday, we need to decide what that song is going to be. Jerry, you want to talk a little bit about?
Well, we really got into some acoustic stuff around the time of John Prine's death, and we kind of got inspired by some of that, and so I think we have one more song that we did in the pipeline, and because we did a cover of John Prine's "Speed of the Sound of Loneliness," and I think we should put that out there on Friday for everybody.
I can't wait to hear it.
I want to hear it.
I've
never heard it. I haven't.
Well, Doug, all you have to do, Jared, tell him.
You have to tune in at 8:00.
8:00
on Friday.
Well, can we set that as a premiere in case I forget and I can just set myself a reminder? Can we do that?
You should probably do that.
That would be awesome because I'm a busy guy, and if we could set that as a premiere where I could actually just get a reminder, that would be awesome.
Makes it really simple.
It sure does.
You may need to leave whatever YouTube stream you're live on at the time.
Yeah.
Excuse yourself to go watch the premiere.
Yeah, because Doug will probably be doing 2 or 3 shows around that time period on Friday.
It's Friday night. He only does a couple on Friday.
Take this off now.
Usually I'm just shooting and editing on Fridays and Saturdays. So, I could take some time away to watch your premiere video. Absolutely.
8:00 on not just YouTube, but on our Facebook page also. So whichever way you get your Storytellers Union content, we got you covered with Speed of the Sound of Loneliness, which is absolutely one of my favorite John Prine songs. I know we've done, now this is our third and during the summer cover series, but it is the last we have of the John Prine songs because we did a few of them around the same time.
We really, we did kind of all around the same time because, well, not that we're never not in John Prine mode, but, we were definitely just kind of sitting around doing a lot of singing and learning John Prine songs and singing John Prine songs, and so I think it's a good way to wrap up summer's end.
But not our summer cover series.
There we go.
That was a John Prine.
It was a John Prine reference. If you got that, you got to comment.
And if you didn't, you probably think that this is the last song in our summer cover series, but it is not. There's still some summer left to go, and so hopefully, you'll keep tuning in and enjoying those. Thank you, by the way, to everyone that gave such love to our last summer cover, which of course was very, very different than acoustic mode. It was our cover of the Ramones, and we dropped that one in early July. So if you haven't seen that yet, it is still available that you can go look at I Believe in Miracles and let that get you ready for Speed of the Sound of Loneliness.
And you could imagine, if you go back and you watch that Ramones video, imagine being in that car with us. Imagine being the only girl in that car with a camera held on these two guys that, as you're driving down the highway, that, you're filming and getting lots of really interesting looks from people. That was probably the funniest part about the whole video, was just looking around and realizing how many people were just staring at me holding the camera on these two guys. Especially one in the back was playing guitar.
And was also wearing like a skull face thingy, so face mask.
My sugar skull gator mask, absolutely. Gotta appropriately socially distance and wear a mask when in public. So
that's right.
You were being extremely appropriate.
He was being very
extremely
careful.
appropriate. Doug Hager. That's right. The title of my autobiography.
You can take that to the Human Resources Office, I tell you.
No, I think for the title of your biography, you need to use a quote from one of your recent YouTube posts.
Logic.
Yeah, I've occasionally dabbled with Logic, and I'm like, yep, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
He's not an adopter; he's just a dabbler when it comes to Logic.
I really do not prefer Logic. I don't.
But yeah, at this point, I guess this is song number 5 in our summer cover series, and so out there we got what will be 3 John Prine songs, as well as a Rolling Stone. I didn't do that on purpose, but a Rolling Stones cover of Dead Flowers is out there, and then our Ramones song, and I'd say we have at least one, if not maybe 2 other covers before summer comes to it.
I think we definitely have 1, maybe 2. I think if we got to an appropriate number of likes on our Facebook and subs on our YouTube channel, that I would release, a cover I did earlier. But, we have to get an appropriate number of likes and subs for that. I'm not sure what that would be. I think we're around like 370 likes. And what's the other thing on Facebook? The likes and the follows. I think if we got around to 400 and at least 10, 15 more subs on our Facebook, we might be able to hear me do like a Flaming Lips inspired version of Achy Breaky Heart. But, we've got to get those subs and those likes up before that happens.
Folks, I implore you.
It is worth it.
Please share with your friends. Use alternate email addresses and accounts to sign up. Like whatever you have to do to hear this.
Invite your friends to like Storytellers Union.
It's an actual thing. He's not just blowing smoke. Doug one night got a little crazy and put down some vocals.
Got a little crazy.
To some achy breaky, so we need to get this out there, and I wasn't going to throw him under the bus and make that promise, but
I will own it. We hit 400 or above likes and follows on Facebook, and I think we're hanging around like maybe 20 or so subs on YouTube. Well, let's get that to 30 subs on YouTube and 400 likes and follows on our Facebook, and I'll even shoot a video for it too.
What?
Yes. Okay, folks.
Oh, can I shoot that video?
Sign your mother up. Sign your neighbor up. That account you have for your dog, that you can share cute pictures of your
Start
dog.
one for your cat.
Sign that dog up. I mean, we got to make this happen. So
yeah, this is a must.
It's very much a must.
Share, and invite your friends to like Storytellers Union. Do that anyway, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you're watching this right now and you don't follow us already, or if you're not sure and I'm not calling anyone out. No, I've noticed some really good friends of ours and folks that are very good at commenting and liking our stuff that are actually not following or have not liked the page and probably don't realize that. So it would definitely do us a favor, and you might even get yourself a Drunken Doug rendition.
Surely it wasn't drunken.
It was.
Surely.
It's. I'm just going to say it's Flaming Lips inspired version, and I got to give some love to Gail. Who gives peace and love to us, her favorite group. Yeah, we see you out there watching right now, Facebook and YouTube fans. Feel free to comment. We'll throw your comments up here on the screen. Let's start a conversation about things tonight.
Yeah, and maybe whatever other covers and things you would like us to do. If we got a couple more in the pipeline, there's always a chance that one of those might be something that you've suggested. We've looked at a few of the suggestions we've got, and in the time we have left in summer, and we're going to do what we can. We're a hardworking group because it's not just the covers and the cover series we have going on.
Speaking of that, Kevin, tell us a little bit about the telethon.
Not that we planned that.
Wow. Did you guys rehearse that beforehand?
Yeah. That's all we do. It's all we do.
To give Doug the enthusiastic hobbyist the content that he so badly craves and desires. He lives on your likes now, folks. And
I'm withering away to nothing. Please like, subscribe,
make Doug's
share.
But no, Jerry is right that we are excited about the doing our next song on Friday for the cover series. But the most recent thing we put out actually was an original song, and we were talking obviously Facebook and YouTube likes and things, but we recently appeared on the telethon for COVID relief, and we saw a huge amount of growth on our pages after that, as well as a lot of new likes. I mean, we gained a lot of new likes and followers. So this might be the first time you're watching us on one of these lives, and maybe it's because you've seen us on the telethon. And if so, we really appreciate the fact that you are taking your time to follow us and that you liked what we did that night. It was a lot of fun for us. That telethon is still out there if you haven't seen it. Our segment starts about 46 minutes in, and it's archived on the My Hometown TV Facebook page and their YouTube channel. But honestly, if you have the time to watch the whole thing, because there was a lot of talented artists, friends of ours, and other folks, some really great performances that night.
It was such a fun night. I mean, seriously, just being there. And it was really interesting because I was there at the Paramount Arts Center with Bad Habits live, and the Elkins brothers, who I think I've already mentioned, I've already adopted them as my grandfathers. And that group, they're so much fun and such talented artists. And then I'm sitting there watching the monitor, seeing the videos as they play in between the live segments. And then I couldn't hear everything, and I hadn't heard all of the videos and so forth that everybody had submitted. So getting to come home, I pretty much came home that night and started watching all the videos, and it was just wow. I was really overwhelmed by the amount of talent that we have in this region, and just the amount of love that we had for our communities here and doing a good thing.
We raised several $1,000s. We were able to help.
We're officially up over 2,000 as of today. There was
of course that is money that was matched dollar for dollar. So thanks to you all who watched and gave. We've got more than $4,000 that went to a great cause to help with COVID relief in our local community here.
So here's a question. I don't mean to just cut you off, but can people still donate at this point if they go back and watch now? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So they can still donate at uwnek.org/donate. And you can still donate by texting COVID NEKY to 313131, and we'll throw that in the comments as well.
Thank you, Scotty, for watching. Absolutely. We love you too.
I love you, Joanna. I love you, Scotty.
Absolutely.
And Scott, I appreciate you saying that you listen to the last album a lot and that you really enjoy it, because one of the things we wanted to talk about tonight is the fact that we are working on the follow-up to Kids on the Same Ride. If you watched us on the telethon, or because we're talking about it now, go check it out to see what it is we're talking about. We debuted what is the first piece of music that we've done, original music, not our cover songs, but original songs, in almost a year and a half, or actually in almost 2 years, more than a year and a half.
It's been a while, yeah.
Yeah, since Kids on the Same Ride. And I think we mentioned it on our last live, but if you didn't tune in that evening, when we got invited to the telethon, we as a band, we discussed, do we drop a cover because we've got these cover songs we've been doing, or do we do one of the old songs on one of the first couple of albums, or what do we do? Well, we knew we've been working on material. We hadn't been very public or open about that fact yet. But we had so much, we always work kind of, and Doug will laugh at that, like it's a little piecemeal, like there's like 8 or 9 things going on at once, like this still needs this still needs that. So there was nothing that was finished, but we decided we were going to challenge ourselves to take one of the songs that we were saving really for our upcoming album and project and try to finish and put it out there. So that's what we did. And it was called Baggage Never Sorted. And it's still out there for you to listen to on the telethon. But we are going to make it
on our YouTube channel, right?
It's on their YouTube channel, and it's not.
Okay.
But
on their YouTube or their Facebook? Do they have a YouTube?
They have a YouTube also.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so we can put those links. We'll put those links in the description below.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
But especially as we wind down our summer cover series, we've already planned that we're going to put just our performance and our video up here on our channels for you guys, because in some ways we're looking at it as sort of the first single from our upcoming project, and because the love you all gave that performance, had a few of you ask about the lyrics, so we posted the lyrics here on our Facebook page as well. It's really got us encouraged and hopefully excited about finishing album number 3. And I know, Doug, you can probably admit to this because, and I'm not throwing you under the bus, but you're the world's worst when it comes to like anything being done.
Absolutely. I'm the world's worst about our songs actually being finished and me actually signing off on a final product. And I know I've said this before in our live streams and our other media, but this is a song I'm very proud of. I was very satisfied and was able to just walk away and say, okay, this song is finished. And still I talk about how once I got the final vocal tracks from you guys, I put it all together and did a mix, and I've got chill bumps right now. I'm not sure if you can see this, but this is the best camera on the webcam, but I got chill bumps with that final mix, because it is just that good of a song. And that sounds terrible for an artist to talk up their own song like that, but I really don't talk up our songs a lot, I don't think, and because I'm always the guy saying something is something could be more. We got some comments here I just want to touch on real quick before they get away. So we got Joanna, we love you too. And the new stuff is on the way. And Scotty, thank you, brother. Appreciate it, man. Especially the sharing with friends so they can see it, get the word out. Let's have a conversation about music. Let's just hang out and talk about music if we're doing nothing else tonight. And we also put up this where you can actually go to donate right now. So we appreciate that. And anybody suffering from this COVID madness that's going on right now in this global pandemic, could certainly benefit from this. But sorry.
Oh,
I just dove in there and hijacked the show with a whole bunch of comments, but want to show some love to the people that are showing love to us too.
And and speaking of showing love, we want to return some of that, and we feel confident enough to be saying that we are working on an album. And last time we did one of these lives, Doug just sort of on the fly, which is how he does most everything. Just kind of.
This is true. For the guy that has so many control issues, I do a lot of stuff on the fly in these live.
It's like maybe we should let people like record the work in our process. Like
I was like, what did Doug just say?
I think he just gave away his position in the band. No. We actually, based on what Doug said, it's like, well, how do we get people and how do we get you all that are watching kind of involved in the fact that we're making this new album? And, we thought that one way we could do it is sort of bring you in on the process and use our social media channels to do so. And so we are going to, as much as possible, film some sort of in the studio album diaries, as it were, as we work our way through the process of finishing this record. And like I said, I think it's important for us, album number one, it took us 16 years to finish it, right? And part of that was because we just would track, move on to another song, track. Nothing ever got done. We gave ourselves a deadline, guys, and I think that was if we are going to release it by this day, and it almost forced us to actually finish it. So I think by going public like we are right now, letting you all know, hey, we're doing this. Hold us to the fire and make us finish this album.
Yeah.
Because we're getting tantalizingly close to having as much material, more material than we need, and we just want to hone it. So Baggage Never Sorted is done and out there. And starting next week, actually, we will start dropping some of those video diaries I was telling you about, because we very recently, Jer and I, took a little trip to do some songwriting.
How'd that work out, guys?
Well, you'll have to watch, Doug, and find out, because it didn't exactly turn out maybe the way that you might think it's going to. It didn't turn out the way we thought it was going to.
I'll leave maybe a hint in that and say that this song, River and Mud,
that might be too much.
Off of our last album.
That might be too much.
It may have been a little foreshadowing.
Do we get a song written? Do we go away and actually accomplish what we set out to do? So watch and find out.
Right. Hey, we got some more comments up here. I'm gonna throw them up. Scotty is laughing. I'm hoping that he is laughing at us. A lot of LOLs here, and he's dying. Don't really die on us, brother. Don't do that. And then here's some more information where you can actually watch the telethon and our actual performance. And Brian Wells, throw a country song or two in there. Hey, I think we have some Americana roots. I think we are firmly planted in our Americana roots. I'm not sure about country.
What do you have in mind, Brian? That would be my question.
There we go. What kind of country?
I would say, though, that John Prine is definitely closer to country than he is to rock. So
I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at Prine, but
I love you, Scotty. Yes, I know. Here's the biggest thing. So I am in a band with two guys.
One which has no hair.
Gorgeous men, but they do not understand that tomorrow I get my hair done for the first time in 8 months.
No, I understand the concept behind hair appointments. I know what that means.
Yeah, his hair appointment is me anymore. Doug is like, and this, I get this. That's why you had me like this to begin with.
This is true. Before we went live, she was pointing out the helmet because of the hair not being done until tomorrow. But Scotty's loving the hair, so I mean.
So we got Speed of the Sound of Loneliness coming out on Friday. We got somewhat. We got Baggage Never Sorted that's out there. As part of the telethon, and we will be, at a point in the not too distant future, dropping a video for that here, just for you guys on YouTube and Facebook. But next week we got the start of some regular content with our YouTube channel and our Facebook page, going behind the scenes of the making of our new album. But that is not all we have going on in the social media world. Mr. Social Media here. We got a lot going on our various channels. And some of it I don't even understand.
I never understand, Doug.
Hold on. I want to address Scotty's COVID hair. Oh, wow. Serial killers. Oh, my goodness. Oh, no. Can we get a picture of that? Is there something on your Facebook?
Yeah, you need a picture, Scotty.
We need to see that. Share it with us.
Stay away from
if you watch
the
late night talk show host and things, it's like you watched over the last couple months, everyone's got this huge hair going on. Like even the famous folks are obviously not bringing.
I got no huge hair.
No, but here's what's disgusting about it.
You used to have huge hair.
You guys can have
huge headphones. No huge hair. This is my COVID headphones, I guess.
But you guys can have it and somehow still look cute. and like, oh, look at his hair, it's adorable. Look at Stephen Colbert, his hair is just
Doug, that's
adorable
twice
right now.
she's called us cute. I think
I
she's
mean,
begging for a compliment. You're
like,
Right, right.
cute.
thanks. I mean,
Yeah.
thanks.
I mean, Scotty went with the gorgeous hair compliment. I don't think I can one up that. You know?
No,
No,
and not seem disingenuous.
Scotty's my favorite
Exactly,
person in the world.
exactly.
Speaking of disingenuous, Doug, what all else do we got going on our YouTube
Brother,
channel?
we have quite a bit going on our YouTube channel. As I've stated earlier, I am a aggressive YouTube hobbyist at best. And so I used to have and I say used to have because I actually deleted the channel so I could focus more on Storytellers Union. But I used to have a channel where I did like some gear demos and just some in studio stuff. So I recently decided, that's just taking away from my attention from this channel. So I started working on more of focusing on this because, like Kevin and Jared mentioned, they have some in studio vlogs that they're gonna be sharing with you guys. And I have a lot of studio work I do. I play a lot around with a lot of digital gear and a lot of stuff like guys and gals like us, who have,
Thanks for
real
that question.
day jobs, and do this as a passion and not a profession. We're still cranking out music all the time, and I do a lot of stuff. And I thought, well, maybe it's best if I show people what I'm doing, and maybe we share that with the world and get that out there. So if you're interested in things like that, we've started a couple of things on YouTube on our YouTube channel. We're sharing them on Facebook too, where you can get not only a glimpse behind the music, because a lot of the stuff I share there has already ended up becoming what you're going to hear as new Storytellers Union songs, but you're also just get some insight into what we're doing as far as our studio work goes, because with COVID we don't actually have a lot of chance to get together and do a lot of songwriting back and forth via the internet and via Dropbox. And also, what was it, we use Google Drive to pass things around, to pass ideas around.
I
But
think it's the Google Drive.
what is it?
The Google Drive.
The Google Drive. But you can find a lot of gear tutorials, a lot of gear reviews and stuff like that, in addition to our original music and our covers on our YouTube channel. And we are sharing that stuff on our Facebook as well. And wait, we also have don't we have a third social media going now? We have a
Well, we do. We just started an Instagram.
yeah.
So you can find our Instagram by looking us up at Storytellers Union Music is what our handle is over on Instagram, or you can link to it from our YouTube page or from our Facebook page. I added the links in both places in the sections about us. So go follow us on Instagram, and that way you can see some images and things that we are shooting as we sit in the studio and work on this on our third album, as well as some of the other projects we got going. And yes, definitely, I know we're doing video blogs that Jared and I are going to do these video blogs that document the making of the album. But if you are a gearhead, or even if you're not a gearhead and you want to watch some of the behind the scenes gear reviews and things that Doug is doing, that's another place that you are going to get some sneak peeks at some of the Storytellers Union music and some of the things that are going on. And then Doug,
that's true, you get little snippets
Wednesdays, right? There's
so here's the deal.
Wednesday is
Reaper Wednesdays, which
fills a man on the internet once a week.
So I don't know about once a week. They're dropping when they can right now. So Reaper, for those who do not know, is
he can't always kill somebody every week. So sometimes it's every other week. He's doing the best he can, folks, for you.
I'm a busy man. I have a day job. No, seriously. Reaper is a digital audio workstation, a DAW. For years, I want to say maybe for 10 years or so, everything that's come through Storytellers Union, I think originally we were working on maybe even a iPad to record some of the very, very early stuff, but eventually we stepped up to a DAW, and that's been Studio One for, I'm going to say, at least the last 8 years. And I've just been exploring some other options. As Kevin pointed out earlier, I have dabbled with Logic. It's the Apple it's the Apple DAW, but I wasn't really happy with it yet, and I went back to Studio One. But a lot of my friends have talked up Reaper, so I'm currently learning Reaper, and I thought, why not share this experience with everybody? So if there are any other musicians out there who are interested in learning Reaper, and the the thing about Reaper is the price point is so amazing because you have like 60 days of a trial for it, and then to get the entire license for Reaper, unless you're an individual or studio making over $200,000 a year, the price point to pick up the license is only $60 as opposed to like $400-500 or maybe even 1,000 if you get into stuff like not Logic, but Digital Design Pro Tools. It's not Digital Design. Wow, I just totally showed my age. But Pro Tools. So I'm dabbling with Reaper right now and trying to learn it gradually. And I thought I'd share that experience for any of our other musician friends out there who are looking for something that's affordable to get into, or even if you're not a musician and you just want to make some music or make some noise. I think that Reaper is a good choice for that, especially at that price point. So we
So
do
if
have
you're a
Reaper
musician,
Wednesdays.
if you're a musician or into production, definitely check those out. And if you didn't understand any of that because you're not a musician or a producer and you want to think like I do, that once a week Doug is going to kill a man live on the internet, then definitely show up for Reaper Wednesday.
Before we get into a Marty Jannetty situation, let me say I'm not killing anybody online.
Oh man, he made it a whole half hour before the wrestling reference.
You have no
Watch
idea.
Jerry's head explode.
No idea. Storytellers and wrestling has to stay separated with these two, and it's almost impossible.
Just to be clear, this is not our Sunday night wrestling show, but if you're a wrestling fan, check us out. Check me and Kevin out. We do a wrestling ramble basically every Sunday night at 8 p.m. on YouTube and Facebook. But
that's right.
That's Two Bros Wrestling Show. But this is our music channel where we're starting a conversation about music and talking to you guys. So what are you guys listening to right now? Well, on this getaway, what was, because I know it was far away from home. I understand the drive back was a little rough, but what was the drive there like? What were you guys listening to on the drive up?
Actually, because there is little in the way of cell service where we were going, I downloaded a bunch of stuff in advance so that we'd have it in the cabin where we were going to. And some of it I've mentioned on here before, things like the Phoebe Bridgers, which is fantastic. The Bob Dylan, which is fantastic. Hamilton Lighthouser, who used to be the lead singer of the Walkmen, if anyone was a fan of that indie rock band. His new solo album is one I took that is tremendous. Moses Sumney is fantastic.
We had dinner by candlelight. I know.
Wrestling. Yes, Scotty. Yes,
I know.
wrestling.
Come follow us. Sorry. You have no idea.
You can find us on Facebook, Scotty. You can find us on YouTube, Two Bros Wrestling Show. We're there for you every Sunday night live.
Yeah, we'll recap for you stuff that happened. But
the Perfume Genius album.
Genius, we listened to that Thursday evening when we got into the cabin. We had some candles going. We had dinner there in our little primitive cabin.
I sold her completely on the Perfume Genius.
Let me tell you, it's just like, if you think, oh, that's a weird name, or I don't know, it is really good. Oh my gosh.
And so I know I mentioned that last time, a couple of lives ago, but apparently she didn't listen because, it took playing it for this time. She doesn't watch these. She's not really a fan of the band.
Yeah.
So I understand completely.
I'm more of a like
hobbyist. She's a Storytellers hobbyist.
As long as she's an aggressive Storytellers hobbyist, we're good.
I don't really like music that much.
She can be pretty aggressive. I will say that.
I'm not really a music person. It's just background stuff. I like music and elevators.
Elevators are awesome.
Well, as far as things that is coming out like that, I'm really looking forward to. I know the new Bully record is coming out here shortly, and I've always liked them and what I've heard.
They did a great live show.
Kathleen Edwards, who is someone I hadn't thought of in a long time.
Kathleen.
She's at least used to be married to Justin Verner from Bon Iver. But if you like that Americana kind of sound, she's got a new record coming out, her first in 7-8 years or more. And speaking of Bon Iver, and I thought of Bon Iver a lot because of where we ended up going, actually. But
Taylor Swift there?
No. Although I will say I did listen to that because I'm a fan of the National, and I'm not a Taylor fan. I don't pretend to be, but it was really interesting actually, and there was some some interesting sounds on there that you can tell the Desner brothers were definitely involved. But this new
Mhm.
Bon Iver song immediately got my attention. I guess he must be gearing up for a project because,
Right.
yeah, it's Bon Iver. And then when the credits came out for the song, even though it's hard to discern when you're listening to the song, apparently he's got, I think it's Jim James, Jenny Lewis, and Bruce Springsteen, who
Really?
is not someone you associate with Bon Iver. Yes, all singing backup on this
So
track.
so when I think Bon Iver, I always think slow motion jam band. You know, that's Bon Iver, you know, it's all the really like lower tempo stuff, and it's slow motion jam band. Yeah, I don't mean that in a derogatory way. That's just how I think of Bon Iver is slow motion jam band.
Like the early stuff is really folksy, and then the last couple of records have been really experimental, and this was some sort of
Yeah.
somewhere in between. Yeah, I liked it. So it's an interesting time for music right now because all these artists are uh, like the rest of the world. They're locked up, in their
Mhm.
homes, and most of these artists that we follow anyway, obviously your Bob Dylan's and Bruce Springsteen's and the
Right, right,
superstar
right,
names
right.
aside, but most of the folks we follow are not like super wealthy. Some of them, in fact, may just be touring musicians that are really just getting by, not on any sort of album streams or anything, but really on merchandise and live shows. And right now, there are no live shows, are not traditional live shows. People are trying different things: socially distanced shows, drive-in shows, pay-per-view shows. Everyone's really kind of struggling right now, and it really is kind of sad to see like a lot of great old school venues and places that their whole income and everyone that works there is relying on the touring industry, which is pretty much, I saw like the Live Nation was down like 100% from this time last
Oh,
year, which pretty
wow.
much means
Right.
like the difference between operating and like shutting out the lights, kind of not operating. And so if there's any chance that you have people that you like and follow music wise, that aren't like your Taylor Swifts or folks that, honestly don't need your money. But if there's some smaller bands or folks that might need your money, definitely look into some of the things they're doing, whether it is pay-per-view performances. I saw like Drive-By Truckers or like, Patterson and is doing like, I think it's like for $5 or something. Like, same for
Mhm.
Steve Forward.
Steve
He's doing
Forber
some
did one.
shows
He did
like
one
that.
from Asbury Park a couple weekends ago, a
Mhm.
couple Fridays
Or
ago.
buy a T-shirt or
Buy
something.
a
Buy
Right,
T-shirt,
right.
one.
Yeah,
buy,
true.
and a lot of people I know. Wilco's got some packs out there right now, like and My Morning Jacket has some like some special packaging. A lot of them are doing vinyl with, you get a T-shirt and a vinyl special print, and just, I mean, take a moment, yeah, to check out your favorite band or artists and go to their website or go to their Facebook page or you know something, and try to give them some support. They might be doing something. And the other thing is, I will say, and I mean, I work in the nonprofit industry, and I know there's always a lot of questions about, where does your money go with nonprofit, and as somebody who works in that, I can say, your money is well used in the nonprofit field. But I know a lot of artists that have been doing stuff for Music Cares, which does a lot of support for bands and their auxiliary members, or touring staff and things like that, to help those families survive. So, consider giving a few bucks over to Music Cares.
One more thing I would say too, while we're on this topic, I didn't really anticipate this topic, but now that we're talking about it, not just supporting the artist, and not to get overly political because it's actually a bipartisan effort, but there is a bill out there right now that you could, ask your member of Congress to support, and I'm pretty sure it's Save Our Stages. I think is what the hashtag is. I'm sure it'd be pretty easy to search to see if that's the official name, but the Save Our Stages bill, which is basically looking, to the government for some sort of financial relief for venues, for all the folks, whether it's the doormen, the bartenders, the ticket takers, the bookers. I mean, there's whether it's a small club or a theater or like we have a theater here in town, and there's a couple of good venues like that over in Huntington as well. And some of these places are small enough that their income is predicted upon having music there 4 or 5 nights a week, and it's gone. And so a lot of these places around the country are just
historical
shuttering.
places.
Some places that have been there for a very long time. So this is a bill that seeks to find financial relief for some of these places that'll hopefully keep them in business long enough that we can get past this stupid mess and get back to some semblance of normal. So
I put the link in the comments right there on the screen. You can click right there and sign on to the bill. And time is running out. It's very time sensitive. So click on that right now and add your name to that and help preserve some of our historical music places, music venues throughout the nation.
But a lot of these folks, though, that have been, these artists and things we like that have been in lockdown have been doing kind of what we're doing. Just if you're going to be kind of cooped in, try to channel that restless energy into being creative. And that's what the three of us have really been doing. It's been sort of our sanity. And I hate to say that, something so awful as a pandemic is in many ways what's informing our art right now. But honestly, I just don't know we'd be this far along in the process. We never set out to go, hey guys, it's time to make that next album. We're always kind of bouncing musical ideas off each other. It's just always a longer process. But because the main form of entertainment we have right now is like playing music and recording, in all the time we spend going to concerts and doing such other things. Now it's like in the evening, like, hey, let's finish. I'm going to finish writing this song. I had this great idea, or, let you listen to this. And what do you think you can do with that, with some backing vocals or things? So I'm hopeful, again, with your all's help, to keep encouraging us that we have this, that sooner rather than later, we're actually talking about an album release date. That would be fantastic for me.
Absolutely, because I think we have an abundance of material at this point. It's about fleshing it out, and I think one of our weaknesses is that we continually churn out, especially when we get in the creative cycle. We just keep churning out material after it's song after song after song. We get in a really, I don't know if it's a bad habit, but is this something that happens with us? And then we'll pick a batch of material to work on, because there's still songs that are years and years and years old that we have that I would love to share, love to finish, but then something new comes along and it's like, okay, this is getting a little bit more love than the older stuff. It's not necessarily it's the bright shiny thing, but sometimes it's and maybe that's the way this works in all bands, that the cream rises to the top, because I don't think any of our songs are necessarily bad. I think for the most part, I think they could always be better, but that's just me. I mean, we talked about that earlier.
I know we talked earlier about baggage and how happy we all were with it.
Yes.
Baggage never sorted. Honestly, folks, and I know it does sound bad when you're tooting your own horn, but I get excited about the most recent things we're working on.
Does.
But this stuff that we are working on now, I think is the best thing we've ever done. So if you did like album 1 or album 2, I'm really excited to think that you're going to like this one when we're done. So follow along.
Kevin has better confidence than me and Doug. Kevin's Mr. I did that.
Kevin is Mr. One take and done. One and done. There we go. Boom.
That's pretty good. I like that. That's good. That's good. Me and Doug are going, I don't have that kind of confidence.
Well, everybody has a different method. Honestly, for me, the more I do it, the worse it seems to get. Like, if truthfully,
there's truth to that.
When I try to tell Doug, like, okay, I need another verse here or something, like, I get so she knows that I check Dropbox restlessly, like, oh, it's been 20 minutes and he hasn't finished it yet.
He'll pace. He'll literally be pacing, and you're like, Doug said he was going to put this in there.
Because I really feel like if I try to come back to it 3 months from now, that it won't be as good as it would be if I'm doing it in the moment, when I'm really feel like I just caught the lightning in a bottle and I want to let it out. After take 20, I feel like I'm more like karaokeing to my own stuff, or trying to mimic the emotion I felt the first time. Why it still gets to me. That's when I want to record things.
So what I'm hearing, as soon as this live stream wraps up, I need to add in a new cut of a song and put it in the Dropbox to you so you can finally get it done.
I think he's waiting on something.
Doug, are you accusing me of a passive aggressive attempt during a Facebook, YouTube live of guilting you into doing something that I wished you would have done a week ago?
Yes, I believe you are.
Yeah, that's true. I totally just did that. I think
you totally just did that. Hey, look, Mama Compton.
Hey,
Mama Compton. Love you. Oh, this makes me think of, and I have to say this because like we have these moments of pride with, the children in our lives, whether it's the fact that, Doug, your son Liam is like one of our biggest fans, right? And,
absolutely.
Loves, hey, wake up.
He's very upset that he's not down. He's probably, it's almost 9, so he's probably asleep now. But he was very upset that he couldn't set in on this live stream with us tonight.
Well, once we get him back behind the kit and we get a drum, then he can participate in this too.
Yeah, I bought him a drum kit.
This is true.
And I mean, his parents totally didn't. His mother totally didn't look at me like.
He's a child. He's a small child.
And I didn't think about it.
He would be making noise with something else. Not a drum kit. He would find some way to make noise.
But I also have to say, we had always these moments of pride with the children in our lives, right? So, 2 weekends ago, we were up at Kevin's sister's. And our nephew Wyatt, who's 16 now, is going to be, I think, as into music probably as we are, in terms of just like he just devours music, and he's constantly asking, what he needs to be listening to, and shit, and what do you recommend? Playing us stuff, and it's just great. It's so much fun. But
actually, he really liked Baggies Never Sorted. He wanted to hear some of our stuff.
Kevin just totally took my story. That was what I was going to say. We played it for him. And the first thing he asked them was, do you know the lyrics? I'd really like to read the lyrics to that. And I mean, it's these moments of like, oh, I love you, child. You just make me so happy.
Yeah, I thought where you were going with it was the prideful thing of when a couple of weeks ago he texted and said, do you like Bob Dylan? What Bob Dylan song should I be listening to? I'm like,
all of them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, my list, Doug, was about a mile long. But
how can you even do? I mean, maybe a beginner's guide to Dylan.
That's what I did.
But I mean, really, how do you
even pick? Texting him like this.
He shared the 3 or 4 that he had already downloaded and asked me what others. So I did that. Like,
wait. How old is Wyatt now? Is he 16? Is he driving? Okay. Yeah. So what was his like? What were his Dylan songs his introduction to Dylan? I'm curious. Where
he already had. I'm wanting to say.
He already
like
had,
a Rolling Stone.
Like Rolling
Stone. Yeah.
Blowing in the Wind.
Yeah. Knocking on Heaven's Door.
No.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember what the other one was.
I don't either.
But I mean, we went with.
But I texted him like a couple nights later to just say like, how's it going? Any favorites so far out of the list? And it's so funny because his favorite is probably mine and Kevin's favorite Dylan song too.
Oh, don't think twice. It's all right.
Okay.
Yeah, I also suggested Masters of War. Hard Rain's Gonna Fall. I went. I can't. I had to stop myself, obviously.
Right?
So
yeah. I mean, how do you do that?
Because you don't want to overwhelm. And then because he texted me, and where I thought she was going with the story is that she comes downstairs, and I said that you're going to be so proud of our nephew. This is what he asked us. And then I asked her, now what should I have? What would you have suggested?
Oh no, the Comptons have locked up. They are frozen.
So much alike. Like,
okay, there we go.
It was almost ridiculous how much in common we had with like what should I have said, and pretty much she named every song I had already given to him.
Yeah, awesome. The only thing then I texted him back and added Visions of Johanna and Idiot Wind, Simple Twisted Fate, and probably a couple more from that, but
you can't
go wrong. It was just
wrong.
Funny because he was just like, I got a lot of music to listen to, but
But he consumes it at like an amazing rate. He could talk to you about like music from so many different eras. Like Nirvana is his favorite band. It's like
Good
just
He
choice.
loves Nirvana, he loves Zeppelin, and he loves, the Beatles, and but then he'll tell us about
Storytellers Union.
Well, yeah.
He
So
really,
Storytellers.
I'm curious what a 16-year-old in 2020 thinks about. Oh, what's the kids that sound like? Help me here. Greta
Uh,
Van Fleet. Greta. What does he think of Greta Van
Greta
Fleet?
Van Fleet,
I
right?
don't know that specifically. I
Jamie.
do know that when I heard him playing a mix the other day while he was working on his Corvette down in the garage, yeah, he had this mix going on, and I heard.
It's
I'm like, what
everything.
is it? It sounds like Led Zeppelin. It was Wolf Mother. So not Greta
Oh, I
Van Fleet.
Really? I didn't know that. I didn't
okay.
hear that
Okay,
one.
I love Wolf Mother.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I
Okay.
mean, and occasionally you'll hear like I heard Devil's Right Hand from Steve Earle. I heard Ray Wally Hubbard. It's like
He
Beach
really
Boys. I'm
does,
like this
yeah.
guy.
Wow, this kid has great taste.
I mean,
He's got
it
great
is
taste.
so all over the board. I mean, and then he'll go into, some like old school, like some 50 stuff because he's grandfather and, listening to that stuff, like to some Elvis, or then he'll go to, he likes this Dolly Parton. So, I mean, he does not care in terms of like the genre and
No.
it just
And
goes
really,
like
and really, you shouldn't. I mean, because
good
good music is
songwriting is
good.
good
Is good.
songwriting.
Yeah, exactly. Good music is good music, depending on, irregardless of genre.
Yeah.
And try to
But
get away from our uncle aunt like bragging here, but like just in general, like I think kids these days think the way that you just said, Doug, because when we grew up, what was popular on MTV is probably what you liked, or if you weren't, a pop fan, then you waited up till Saturday nights and watched Headbangers Ball on MTV, and that's what you listened to, or 120 Minutes, and that was the stuff you thought was cool, or what was on the radio.
right,
But you had your music, but now because of the digital age, all of recorded music is available to these kids at any given time. So
exactly.
there's not the preferences of like this is what everyone is listening to, because they're kind of listening to all of it, which is so cool. Really.
Yeah.
I kind of admire this time that we're in.
Absolutely, because there's so much access to so much music. I mean,
Entertainment period.
yeah, you're absolutely right. Entertainment period, because I mean, there's just so much access at your fingertips. I mean, Spotify and like between Spotify and Amazon streaming services, you've got like 100 million songs at your fingertips just between those two services. And then you add in like Tidal and Pandora and all this other stuff. Again, just looking at music, and even YouTube Music, and I mean, it's just an amazing time to be a consumer of entertainment.
One of the last times we went to Bonnaroo, I kind of had one of those. Obviously, we were way over the average age of like folks that will go. We're talking mainly 21, 22 is probably the average age, and we're at Bonnaroo, and it's one of those nights like at night, EDM music. There's a lot of electronic dance music and all this stuff's playing. And I get like, I can't stand that noise or what have you. And then I had to sort of check myself, because the very next day we're at like, the Beach Boys. And this was like the real Beach Boys. Like this was that brief period when they got along and Brian Wilson was back in the band. So there's Brian Wilson there on the stage. And I realized that like half of the audience are teenagers,
Right.
more than half the audience are teenagers, and a lot of them would have been the ones out the night before that were listening to this stuff that I'm being snobby about. That is their music, not my music per se, of their generation, and yet they're still there in a field in the middle of the day in the heat after all night partying, singing all the words, not just their experience, singing all the words. And that's when I'm like, yeah, I need to check myself, because the kids are definitely all right. It's just maybe not my thing, but
exactly. I wonder if my music snobbery is at some points inhibiting my creativity. If because I can be very close minded about certain types of music and certain things like that, and I've been called a music snob more than once, and and I'm trying to, like you say, check myself and be more open to more things, especially since there's so much at my fingertips. I mean, we can say it's a great time for kids these days, and that sounds just like some grumpy old men talking. But really, I mean, it's a great time for any music lover right now to find anything. I mean, it may take you a little bit of digging, but you can find some really cool stuff out there. And
And there might not be those days anymore, and there's not actually going to be those days anymore of like Thriller and Like a Virgin and Born in the USA, these albums that sell 20 million copies and everyone listens to them. Like everything's a lot more niche, and
absolutely.
and while there might not be any of those superstars being created anymore, or those superstar albums in that same fashion, it provides folks like us, in a way that we never could before, to whatever audience we can ever obtain. We actually have just as much access as anyone else because the playing field has been leveled. There's nothing
It
that's
really has been leveled. Absolutely.
and it is a good time not only to be a fan of music, and it's a good time to be a creator of music or an enthusiastic hobbyist of music.
So, getting back to that, what is it again that we are creating or have created that we are doing and putting out this Friday, just to make the circle kind of?
Let's
look what you
recap
did.
things for people.
Yeah, let's recap it. Yeah, we're creeping up on an hour. We don't want to take too much of many people's time. Brian Wells, hold on. I'm going to pop this up. Hold on, because we were talking about country earlier. I have zero problem doing something with Johnny Cash. I did tell Kevin and Jerry earlier, and I mentioned this to everybody who was watching earlier. If we can get our subs and our likes up across our social media, I did dabble with a version of Achy Break Your Heart that's Flaming Lips inspired. So we may share that if we get enough. What did I say? Like, 400 likes and follows on Facebook, and at least 30, maybe 30 subs on our YouTube, because it's a small channel. So
we have that. So you got to help us get there, folks. The Johnny Cash idea, I love Hurt in its original Nine Inch Nails format. I loved it even better once Johnny covered it. I would cover anything that Johnny put his hands to.
Absolutely.
He's an absolute favorite of ours. But yeah, as far as some things that we have going on, we are in the middle of our summer cover series. Maybe not the middle, closer to the end, but we have a few more covers that we're going to drop for you guys. The first one is when, Jer?
This Friday.
And it is what? It is what?
And it's another our final John Prine cover, and it's one of my absolute favorites of his, and it's called "Speed of the Sound of Loneliness." And
so we got Speed of the Sound of Loneliness. We recently had our first original song in almost 2 years come out as part of the telethon we were able to participate in. That is Baggage Never Sorted, and it is also will be an upcoming single that we'll put the video for here on our channels, because we are working on a new album, folks, and couldn't be more excited about it. And we are going to document the process of making that album and drop a little snippets of sort of in the studio diaries. We start that next week on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page. And Doug, we got all kinds of other content that's premiering regularly on our YouTube channel and Facebook page.
We have a ton of content that comes out at least weekly, where we are dabbling in the studio, playing with new gear, and just showing other grumpy old men like myself how we can use technology to get the job done a little bit quicker, a little bit more efficiently, and a little bit less time. So if you're tired of looking around that 50-pound tube amp and just want to plug in and play and get an idea down, check out some of my tutorials and my gear demos on our YouTube channel.
And lastly, I would say, repeating that, if you, if you're a friend, a fan, like what we're doing, and want to support us, the best way you can do that is just make sure you're actually subscribed. Like I said earlier, we have a lot of folks that comment for us and listen to us and give us lots of encouragement that actually haven't hit that like button yet. So if you're not sure, double check if you would, and follow us and like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we're now on Instagram.
Yes, Instagram as well.
Check out check out the comments. We've got a link to our Instagram. In the comments, we've got a link to our performance, or the telethon performance. And you said we're around the 46 mark,
46
minutes mark.
and you can hear the new song. And
But watch the other stuff too. It's
Absolutely.
totally
There's some Logan County All Stars
great,
in there, you know.
there is,
So
great
actually, yeah,
stuff.
there
it was a
really
good night.
are.
It was a
It's
good night
a,
for Logan County.
it really was a good night for Logan County on that telethon. Absolutely.
But folks, first things first, this Friday, Speed of the Sound of Loneliness, John Prine, and then we got some video diary stuff as well as Baggies Never Sorta being debuted here shortly. We'll keep you updated on all that if you follow us on any of our social media channels, and we certainly hope that you do.
So with that, I think we'll wrap it up. Thanks for watching, everybody. We love you all. Thanks to all the new likes, follows, and subscribes we already have. Share it with all your friends. Wake the kids, call the neighbors, tell them about Storytellers Union. Go listen to some music, support your local musicians. Peace and love, everybody.
Everybody stay safe.